The vanishing triangle flights, what they heard before. They disappeared December 5th, 1945. 5 Navy bombers take off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The sky is clear. The air is calm. The mission? A simple training exercise. But within hours, they would vanish without a trace into something far darker than the ocean below. Their final transmissions weren't screams. They weren't panicked maydays. What they said was worse. They described a sky that turned hostile, an ocean that looked wrong, and a creeping sense that something unseen had wrapped around them, tight. This was Flight 19, 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers, 14 men, routine training. Their mission: navigate to a series of checkpoints over the Atlantic, simulate a bombing run and return. They called it Navigation Problem Number 1. The pilots were experienced. The planes were reliable. The weather was perfect. There was no reason to expect anything unusual. But the Bermuda Triangle, a place whispered about even then, had other plans. Leading the flight was Lieutenant Charles C. Taylor, a decorated pilot. But Taylor had recently transferred and wasn't as familiar with the region. He would become the tragic heart of this nightmare. Around 3:45 p.m., confusion crackled over the radio waves. A student pilot's voice came through first. "I don't know where we are. We must have gotten lost after that last turn." Then Little Taylor's voice, strangely calm, yet clearly disoriented. "Both of my compasses are out. I'm trying to find Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The ocean? It doesn't look right." They weren't just lost. It was as if the entire world around them had shifted. Maps made no sense. Directions collapsed. Even the sun, they said, looked misplaced. Ground control begged them to turn west, to follow the sunset. One of the pilots pleaded, "Damn it, if we could just fly west, we'd get home." But Taylor hesitated, and the sky was darkening. Then came the words that chilled even seasoned operators. "We're entering white water. Nothing seems right. We can't tell where we are." No one knew what that meant. White water? Some say it meant a sudden storm. Others believe they entered something else. Something unnatural. Taylor's final order: "All planes close up tight. We'll have to ditch soon. When the first plane runs out of fuel, we all go down together." Then, silence. The military launched a massive search. More than 300 aircraft and 100 ships scoured the sea. They found nothing. No oil, no debris, not a single trace of any plane. But then, it got worse. At 7:27 p.m. that same night, a massive search and rescue seaplane, the PBM Mariner, took off with 13 men on board. It radioed an all clear. Then it too vanished. Witnesses from a nearby ship claimed they saw a massive fireball crash into the sea. No survivors, no wreckage, just fire, then darkness. In one night, 6 planes and 27 men were erased. What happened? Some believe in simple answers: navigational error, compass failure, an unexpected squall. The so-called agonic line, where magnetic compasses swing wild, did pass through that region. A pilot already confused could spiral into total misjudgment. But that doesn't explain the total silence, or the complete lack of wreckage, or the final ghostly words. More terrifying theories suggest rogue waves, time warps, interdimensional rifts, even intelligent forces. Theories fed by reports of other vanishings, each more unsettling than the last. Flight 19 wasn't the first. Months later, a British airliner named Star Tiger vanished without distress near Bermuda. Its sister ship, Star Ariel, vanished along the same route months later. Then a DC-3 carrying 31 souls disappeared 50 miles from Miami after a routine landing call. No storms, no crashes, no wreckage, just static. What if those final words weren't confused pilots? What if they were warnings? What if white water wasn't a storm, but a veil? A veil that swallowed their signal, their planes, their minds. There are whispers among retired naval operators of voices that still bleed through static in that region. Muted cries, directions that loop endlessly. A man saying, "Nothing is right, I can't see the sky." Are these echoes? Glitches in time? Or are they still out there? Trapped. The Bermuda Triangle doesn't leave fingerprints. It leaves gaps. It leaves dread. What happened to Flight Shane 19? And the Mariner remains unsolved. But something about their final moments, the quiet fear in their voices, the strange descriptions of the world around them warping, it all points to a truth we're not ready to accept. That something watches in that part of the sea. Something old. Something patient. Something that feeds on confusion and fear. It doesn't sink planes. It absorbs them like light into blackness. What do you believe? Are these disappearances just tragic coincidences? Or something far more terrifying? Let me know in the comments. And remember, the next voice lost in the static could be yours.